Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I want to introduce y'all to La Marines Beach. Now this isn't a white sand beach, but it's a very clean beach, very serene, very tranquil place. This is one of the reasons I love the Philippines. You're never too far from a beach. There's so many wide open spaces. And see, I love to read, I love to relax. That's why I left America, to get away from that rat race. You know, there's just so much freedom here. People leave you alone and let you enjoy this place to your heart's content. Now, La Marines Beach, it's about 15 minutes from my house. And pre-pandemic, I would come here every single morning, do my meditation, just to listen to the waves crash the beach. You can hear it now. It's starting to rain a little bit. It's in a little place called Cashapp, Negros Occidental. As a matter of fact, we're looking at a little small lot here that we may purchase for way on down the line, you know, maybe for my daughter or something like that. But I came here today and I thought about the name of the vlog. That's where I come up with that name. It was from my comments. A gentleman, he asked me, he said, Calvin, and he was serious, you know. He said, Calvin, why did you cut off all the hair off your face? And, you know, I thought it was funny, you know, because it really shows you the contrast in thinking in America and the Western thinking versus the Philippines. See, in America, we're worried about all that shallow stuff. You know, he's really worried about that because my family asked me the same thing. My kids wondered, Daddy, why'd you cut your hair off? And, you know, I'm 57, you know, I'm tired of explaining. You know, I'm at a stage in my life where I'm tired of explaining what I'm doing. All right, people over here, they're too busy living life, trying to figure out, how am I gonna feed my family? You know, out trying to find a job, you know, living life on life's terms is what I like to say. But we're worrying about what we look like on the outside. And this is one of the main reasons I had to escape that rat race over there. You know, and it takes me back to, you know, when one of my subscribers from the UK, he says, hey, if you're in the rat race, it means you're a rat. And, you know, I was just tired of being a rat. I wanted to come over here and live like a lazy dog, you know. And I don't know how long your plan is going to take for you to escape, but it took me 4 years. I had a 4-year plan, and it worked to the T. You know, as an insurance agent who specializes in Medicare Advantage plans, the annual enrollment period runs every year from October 15th to December 7th. So October 15th, 2014, I'd already brought my wife and son to the United States. I said 4 years from now, I'm going to be in the Philippines and I'm never coming back to the United States. I'm giving up this rat race. I'm going to find me a new way to live. And I knew exactly how many people I had to enroll to get this passive income that I enjoy today. I knew exactly what I had to do. And October the 13th, 2018, I booked our tickets. About 3 round-trip tickets. Me, my wife, my son, is about $1,800. You know, that's why I was telling you, you know, guys were asking me how much is the cost of a ticket over here. Well, pre-pandemic, it was cheap to come to the Philippines. Not like it was when I first came here, because so many people are coming now. Remember I told you in 2009 when I came here, only like 200,000 Americans visited the Philippines in 2009. 10 years later, in 2019, which is the last time they were able to come up with those numbers, it was over 1 million. And there's hundreds of flights that come into the Philippines from all over the world. So plane tickets are cheap. It just depends on when you buy your ticket and when you decide to fly. See, normally in December, the tickets are very expensive because a lot of Filipinos living abroad, they'll come home. But see, what I did is I booked my flight 2 months ahead of time, which is something I would suggest you do. Because I'm thinking, this is my thinking, and the way that capitalism works over in the West, that they're going to be running some heck of a deals It's not going to be like over here, where they're going to try to get all the money back at once. See, they're going to slow roll it in America and England and France and all those places. So they're going to give you a good deal because they want the volume. See, but anyway, October 13th, I booked those 3 round trip tickets. And one more thing I wanted to remind you, because people always ask me, Calvin, can I buy a one-way ticket to the Philippines? Absolutely not. You either have to buy a round trip ticket or an onward ticket. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, a round trip ticket is going to cost you far less than a one-way ticket. Okay, it was $1,800. Now, you know, me and my wife was a little bit over, a tad over 600. Then our son's was like 5 something because at that time he was 6. So his plane ticket was 90% of ours. So it was very, very cheap. Because when I first came over in 2009, of course I told you, I booked with a travel agency and it cost me $2,500. That was on Korean Airlines, and also 1 week in the Crown Regency here in Cebu. It was just only for 1 week, cost me $2,500. Boy, did I learn a lesson, and that's the reason I did started my vlog, because I didn't want anybody else to make the same mistakes I made. See, my mistakes now have become my secrets, and I give them to you. But October 13th, I bought them tickets. December the 5th, well, actually December the 3rd is when we flew from America, and I arrived here December the 5th, 2018. Everything complete. And then that January 2019 was when my passive income kicked in. I bought with me about $17,000 altogether with cash and what was on my debit card. Okay, then I had about $10,000 in credit card limit, you know, in credit card that I could use. But, and because people always ask me that, well, how much am I going to need to get started? Always have a passive income over here, unless you got a lot of savings. And see, I'm going to interview my friend John tomorrow. And he's one of those guys, you know, he invested well, he saved well, and he's not retired. He doesn't have a passive income. Well, yeah, he does, but I'll let him explain that. But he's basically living on his savings, okay? So that's one way you can do it. And I came here because I wanted to get away from that. I wanted to come to a place where I could live among my own standards. See, I don't have to deal with those attitudes. I told y'all, I haven't had an argument in 3 years. I will not have an argument over here because they don't bother me. You know, as long as I don't disrespect the kids, as long as I don't disrespect the women and their culture, they're going to leave me alone. They say, hey, Sunshine Shoulders, just, you know, enjoy the Philippines to your heart's content, because number one, we know that you're a good guy. Number two, we know you're going to help people. And number three, we know you're not going to start any trouble over here. So, you know, just have the run of the place. And when the guy said that, it just brought it all back together. Like, man, I'm so glad I'm over here. See, over here, I don't have to be a Democrat. I don't have to be a Republican. I don't have to be black. I don't have to be white. I don't have to be Christian. I don't have to be Muslim. I don't have to be Catholic. I don't have to be any of that stuff, guys. I'm as free as I've ever been in my life. You know, and that's why, you know, I often talk about this subject, because people are always in my emails, they're in my inbox, they're in my comments, they're seeking the freedom. And I'm saying, look, it's available over here. The cost of living, 365 days of sunshine, beautiful women, beautiful beaches, the warm climate. Listen, the average temperature over here is 82 degrees. Yeah, they got 2 seasons, the wet season, the dry season, and they also have typhoon season. It usually runs the minute that the rainy season starts, which is somewhere around June. And it actually has 2 types of typhoon seasons. You know, they have the dry, and then they have the wet, which is the wet is later on. It's like from October to like December. That's when those fierce typhoons that you always hear about, like that hit Typhoon Yolanda, and those typhoons like that, that really create massive destruction. The other ones, they're fierce and they can be destructive, but they're not as deadly as the ones from like October to December. Also, one thing I want to tell you about the climate here is March through October is generally the warm months. It's their summer, with May being the hottest month. Humidity's running about 77%. So if you have a hard time with the heat and humidity, you probably don't want to book your trip here for May. Okay, it starts to cool down in November, like from November to February. Okay, and that's a good time to come because the rainy season's already started. You see it's raining now. At night, the temperature goes down to about 20 degrees Celsius. That's about 68 degrees. I mean, it's very, very comfortable. You get a break in the morning and then from like 5 p.m. on until the morning. See, and it's just some things you need to know because a lot of people, they always ask me about, they say, hey, Calvin, y'all don't do the heat well. And the Philippines has a reputation for being real, real hot. But see, you can move places here in the Philippines, the mountain regions. You see those mountains behind me. The temperature is always cooler there. Maybe 5 to 10 degrees cooler. And see, I'm getting my thoughts together about a video about the mountains because see, that's the unseen Philippines that most of us will never see. Simply because we stay here on the low ground, but up there there's hundreds, there's thousands of people, and they have communities up there. They only come down here to get their needs. They may come down here once a week, once a month. Some people never come down. They just stay up there. But it's something that you have to see. When I go from San Carlos City to Bacolod to renew my visa, we go through the Don Salvador Mountains. I mean, it's beautiful. It's like you're flying. Whoever cut that road through there and started those communities, they were geniuses. And unless your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your friends live up there, you'll never go there. So when you come here, if you're with me, I'm going to take you. Or ask your girlfriend, say, hey, take me to the mountain province. But I wanted to just kind of just tell you the contrast in thinking between the Western countries and the Philippines. Man, this is a laid-back place. This is a throwback place. If you want to relax, I mean, really, if you want to get off that Ferris wheel, that hamster wheel, I mean, for good and for all, and you get you $1,000 a month, and you come here, and I'll show you how to do it. See, because the only time I go back there is to visit my kids, to visit my grandkids. That's it. And I can't stay any longer than 2 weeks. Because it's all about the outside. Look at me. Look how much I got. Look at my new car. Look at my new clothes. Look at my jewelry. Look how big my house is. I got tired of that, guys. I'm sorry. And I'm not knocking you if that's how you are. Because I was like that when I was younger. But I'm 57 now, running 58. Okay? And it's time for me to slow down. It's time for me to live life on my terms. See, a good friend of mine, Dennis, we were talking today. And he reminded me, he said, Calvin, you know what? He said, I provided a good living for my family, my wife, and my children. He said, but you know what? He said, when you buy that house, you're locked in for 30 years. And I said, you're right. And I said, and guess what? You're also going to be locked into that miserable job that you hate going into for 30 years, see, to pay for the house. And then you may be locked into a miserable marriage, a relationship that's going to keep all that together, see. I don't want that anymore. See, I stepped away from that. And his comment only reminded me why I did that. Said, Calvin, you made the right decision for you. I don't care what it took. It took me 4 years of planning, 4 years of hustling out there, helping people. Because when I first started, in the insurance business, Wayne Tipton was my first insurance manager. A white guy of all people. I mean, he treated me like I was his son. He said, Calvin, the first thing I want you to do is stop selling insurance and start helping people. And it changed my life. He started setting my goals. He taught me how to set goals in the business. He taught me everything. He's the reason I'm standing here today. You know, even though we only worked together for 2 years, he set me on that path, man, and I'm forever thankful. So Wayne, man, if you're watching this, man, thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it. One more thing before I go. People always ask me, Calvin, why you always helping people? Man, because somebody helped me. They did it for me. See, 23 years ago when I was old, the town drunk, you know, I didn't have anything to live for. You know, if I'd have had a gun, I probably would have took my own sorry life. Some people helped me. You know, they said, hey, your life's worth living, man. Don't give up. You know, they helped me stop drinking. You know, they helped me live a life that I never knew existed. And I hope I never forget that. And that's why I'm always looking for people to help. I'm always got something going on about helping people, because let's face it, guys, when we help other people, we help ourselves. It don't matter whether you believe it or not. I believe in the law of compensation. No matter your gift, no matter your sacrifice, the law is going to reward you 10 times, 100 times, maybe 1,000. And it's always going to come from somewhere that you least expected. So thank you so much for stopping by today. If you're in America, you already sleep. So I'm going to talk to your subconscious mind. When you get up to go to work, to go get your cup of coffee, to go get that morning newspaper, and you see somebody out in the street, give them a few dollars. Don't even buy them nothing to eat. Don't even buy them nothing to drink. Give them a couple of dollars, man, because they need it, okay? Those $1,400 stimulus checks, we may not even get them, guys. It's our money, it's our tax money, but we may not even get them. If you're in the Philippines, it's about 3:30 p.m. We still got a couple of more daylight hours to find somebody to help, okay? Earlier today, a lady, I mean, she was sweating, man. She had a whole box of buko juice, which is coconut juice over here. Nobody was buying, so I bought all 20 of her bottles. They were only 20 pesos each. It was 400 pesos, about $9, guys. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free, and I'll see you next time.